All right, guys, how are you? I hope everyone can hear me okay. I have lost my voice, and so I'm going to try to push through this the best I can with no voice, and I'm so sorry. I've tried to limit my commitments even for today because of how bad my voice sounds, but I didn't want to not be here for you guys today, so let me know where you're guys watching from. I just want to make sure I'm live here. My countdown is still showing me 0, so I want to make sure that it's live because the Facebook thing is on your computer super weird. Okay, I'm live, so I'm so sorry. You may have to turn it up really loud. This is actually as loud as I can talk as I start squeaking, so I'm sorry about that. But I did want to make sure I got on here today and I talked to you guys about limiting beliefs around our body image, limiting beliefs around weight loss, and some of the mental limitations that prevent us from our physical body changing. And so I was asked to kind of share with you guys today some ideas or some tools that you could work through personally to start to help your body. And again, you guys, I'm so sorry if it's not loud enough. Please try to turn it up. I'm also sorry if you see people walking behind me. Our water heater exploded yesterday and our basement flooded. And so we have a lot of people working in our house today as well. So it's kind of an interesting day. So I wanted you to ask this, and I hope you have a pen and paper, because the best way to start to process is to not just listen in your mind and think, oh, I'll go back to this later. But if this is a priority for you, and I'm going to say if your physical body is not a priority for you, you may need to do some self-evaluation and self-reflection there as well. But if your to transform our physical body needs attention. And what happens is we often our physical body gets attention when our physical body starts to hurt. So our body's natural way to get our attention is pain or discomfort. So then our focus starts to go there and we get out of the mindless, oh, we're here, we put ourselves second. Everybody else goes first. We're depleting ourselves. We keep going. Our body may tell us to quiet down as I'm trying to talk, right? And my body is telling me you need to shut up, but I'm doing the best I can to fulfill as many commitments and still honor that in one day. So I'm saying this knowing, well aware, my body's telling me to be quiet. With that being said, we ignore those things, and our body does things to get our attention. Our body often will cause pain or dis-ease in the body or weight gain. And then what happens is our focus goes there. Now, where focus goes, energy flows regardless. So if you're focusing on an area and you're like, I have all this belly fat, I don't like my stomach, I don't like my legs, I want you to ask yourself, what is it you're actually telling your body? What is it that if you could transform this in your body tomorrow, you would? And I'm going to ask you this. Would you really? Because this is one of the hardest parts of healing for a lot of people, because actually some people actually don't want to heal. Some people have been in such a battle with their weight, a battle with their body, a battle which resistance causes more resistance, and that resistance can actually become addictive because of the patterns and the relationships of what it causes in our life. And the number one relationship that goes with, I'm so sorry. So I'm on a live and I can't, could you talk to my husband, please? Okay, great. Sorry. There's like a bunch of people just walking upstairs. Sorry about that, guys. So the relationship that you personally have with your body is a replication of everything else. So I want to ask you, the first question I want to ask you is, what value does your body provide to you? Because sometimes we have what the value of money is, what the value our family is, what the value of our health is. What is the value of your health? And are you able to show up in that? And if you're not able to show up in that, why is that? So write that down. I also want you to write down What value does food have to you? The reason I'm asking you these questions is some of these questions are going to be your insights into what you're going to be able to dig into to kind of release some of these limiting beliefs and patterns you may be holding on to. Now, values stem from when we're children. Values are how we show up in our life. Values define the actions we take. Values are the foundation of how we show up in this world, the choices we make, the inspired action we take. That goes from our values. When our values are not established, or our values have a negative context, or our values, maybe you haven't even acknowledged that you have values around your body, your food, your life, your health, your quality of life. What does quality of life mean to you? And how do you show up in that? Because I guarantee you, quality of life does not have you showing up in pain, in discomfort, in not loving your body, loving to move freely, loving to, if you don't want to go out and put on a swimsuit because you're worried about what other people will think of you. You're thinking that of yourself. Other people don't care. Other people are thinking the same thing. All you're doing is reflecting your value of back, okay? So this goes into your value, which is going to affect your beliefs. Now, so this is super, super, super important. So make sure that you are acknowledging how you value food, money, health, and all of those things, because that is going to wind back to your childhood. If anything outside of you is defining a value with inside of you, it is not true. Nothing outside of us can ever define what is intrinsic or what comes out of us. So what happens, and this is the same thing, I want you guys to think of diet and goals as the same thing right now, because they are. What diet is and what goals are basically swimming upstream. You're putting something on top of a hill and it's going to be effort to get there. And the reason you're going to do it is for something outside of yourself. I'm going on a diet because. It always has that. It's never as like, I'm going on a diet because. You have a because. I'm working towards this goal because. That never, ever, 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 ever goes back to your standards. That always goes to a goal or something outside of yourself that you feel like you must achieve in order to make a change. But what happens is when we actually start to change inside of us, our body can actually show up as better versions of itself. Our body can start absorbing food better. Our body can start using nutrients better. Our body can start feeling more free so we can work out more and more enjoyable. So some people have triggers like what working out is. Some people have triggers of exercise. I worked in a gym for so long that traditional exercise and me are not friends. I'll just be outright honest. We're just not. That's not fun for me. It's not fun for my body. Nothing. The second I have that experience, I'm like, no, my body does not want to do that. My body likes to be outside. My body likes to do yoga. My body likes to dance. My body likes to ride a bike. My body likes to do a lot of movement, but not in what is traditional for what is in a gym. And that has to do with the 15 years I worked in one. So there's a lot of things that our body will reflect back to us, okay? And we just have to be aware of that when we make our choices of what our body wants to do, because our body, sometimes we think of it as this thing that is holding us back. But I have to tell you, your body is the house that your soul gets to live in. So if you're not working with your body and feeding your body, you're actually diminishing your house. And would you do that to the house you live in? Would you do that to your children? Would you tell your body? Would you tell your child a lot of the things you guys look in the mirror and tell your body? And if you wouldn't, you have to stop saying that right now. You have to stop. It's poison to your soul. Your soul is living in this house and is carrying you through this world, and you get to do these things. For some of you, if you're a parent and a grandparent and you have had children, their body has grown those people. Your body has shown up for you every freaking day of your life. But how are you showing up for your body? See, this is what is so important about finding that intrinsic value within inside of us. And that really, really, really has to go from where your values of food, exercise, fitness, health, where did they stem from? Where did those deep-seated values form those beliefs in you? I want to talk about your behaviors, the behaviors you may see growing up. Was your mom always on a diet? Was your dad always on a diet? Were they always talking about, you can't eat that, you'll get fat? Or if you do this, you know, I'm worried about your health. There's things that are said that are programmed in. Sometimes it's even hearing someone else. I had an incident, and I have fully defined this. I am well aware of it. When I was 14, I watched somebody else, an older girl, make fun of this girl that I thought was very beautiful. And I heard her make fun of her because she had cellulite on her legs, and she was very beautiful, and she was a thin girl. And I had actually never even identified or saw that. And she said something really bad about her. And I instantly thought, wow, okay, I don't want to be that because they will make fun of me. And so what did I do? I put more energy into that, and I created that in my own body, and then I hated myself for it. See, the law of attraction is working at all times. So even if you want something, you're well aware of what you don't want, and you're putting energy towards that. This is why if you're like, I have to work out, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, and then you have more fat, because that's all you ever contributed to your body in the first place. So this is really, really, really important when it comes to what we're feeding our body, when it comes to our mind as well. This is also when you're saying diet, I need to go on a diet, I need to hit this goal, I need to do this. Let me tell you, when we're hitting a goal for an extrinsic value, for something outside of ourselves, I just want to hit this goal to win this. I want to hit this goal so that I can wear those pants. I want to hit this goal because I want to wear this dress at my wedding. I want to hit this goal because of something outside of yourself that doesn't come from inside, a deep inside belief. When you hit that goal, or when you don't hit that goal, when you don't get to that marker, you then beat yourself up for not achieving it because you were at some point a failure because you didn't hit that. That's not growth. That's not how your body was meant to function. As a child, when you were to eat, you ate because you were hungry. At some point, somebody told you not to eat then, not to eat that, not to eat there, not, you can't eat that, that's not good for you. And you determined what was good and bad. But truly, if you actually watch a child when they're young, when they first start eating, they do naturally eat healthy food. They do eat when they're hungry. But see, we say, eat all of your food. You can't leave the table till you finish your plate. You have to eat this time. You have to do this. You have to finish this. And your body becomes programmed that if you don't do that, you're bad. And none of us intrinsically want to be bad. We all want to be good. But sometimes it's actually not what our body wants. As a little girl, my grandpa never made me eat anything ever in my life. It was always like, order what you want, eat what you want. Order what you want, eat what you want. One time ever, he made me eat a tomato. One time. To this day, I hate tomatoes. To this day, I hate tomatoes. Also, I am allergic to tomatoes. Now, I'm not allergic to tomatoes where they I break out in hives. I'm allergic to tomatoes where they go straight through me. But my body did not ever want tomatoes. Sometimes I had a client who her mom would make her eat the same thing every day. She had to eat her potatoes. She had to eat her potatoes. She had to eat her potatoes. And she was really, truly, really allergic to potatoes. And it actually caused joint issues with her. Her body, she was not old enough to listen to her body. So she listened to what her mom told us. So then she started to define what she should eat based on what people told her and not listening to her body. When did you do that in your life? Once you guys start digging into this and peeling the layers back, You're going to start to be able to release these things that are inhibiting you from stepping into the true form your body wants to show up as in this world. And you guys, for some of you, it is not what's on a magazine cover. It is not what's on TV. That is not how your body wants to show up. It's actually not. It's what society tells you you should be, but it's not who you truly are. It's not what most people are. It's not what your soul wants you to be. So where are you defining what is even you like? Do you even know what clothes you like? Do you even know what colors you like? Do you even know what your body, what type of movement you want to do? Until you get really clear. And it's not about diet. It's not about a goal. It's not about your goal weight. It's about how you feel and where you're showing up and the relationship you have in the home your soul lives in your body. Nothing will fully change and stay that way. Once you get really clear about paying attention to your body, and you can even ask a simple question, body, what do you want to eat today? If your body may not be hungry, your body may only want a little bit of food. Maybe your body wants a lot of food. Maybe you're not stopping eating when your body is done eating because you think it tastes so good, but you're actually not paying attention to your body saying, hey, I'm full, stop. Are you watching TV while you eat? Are you on your phone while you eat? Are you distracted? Because you being distracted is taking away from your body, which you're feeding, by the way. Would you not feed your car? Would you put corn syrup in your car? Why are you putting it in you? It's your fuel. Some of you cut back and say, well, I can't afford healthy food. Well, you don't put corn syrup in your car. You pay gasoline in your car. So why would you not put the best form in your body as well? It doesn't take a whole lot. It just takes a little assistance. Then we have things like supplements and being able to fill in the nutritional gaps around to support our body. But what is right for one is not right for all. This is why we have a supplement line. This is why we can adapt. This is why I'm telling you guys, please, it's not a one size fits all. It's a one size fits none. You are the only one that has to fit because you're the only body living in your body. You're the only one. You're the only being in your body. So Nikki just said, I grew up with little money, so almost craved the foods more that we couldn't have. Like my brain doesn't shut off that I'm full. Because it's psychologically, your brain actually does shut off that it's full, but psychologically, you think if you don't stop right now, you'll never have it again. So you want to go back, and what we're going to talk about right now is writing a release letter and how you can either write release letters to food, which you can do. You can write a release letter to food. You can write a release letter to what your resistance is to movement. You can write a release letter to an area of your body that may be injured or an illness you may be going through. You can write a release letter to absolutely anything. A release letter is a letter that you're going to write. You're going to release the energy and emotions you're carrying around that, and then you're going to tear it up and burn it. So you're releasing the energy off of you. I've had people write release letters to money or release letters to a family member and alone lose 20 pounds because what they were carrying was the burden of everyone else on them, and that emotional burden showed up as physical weight. This is a lot of why so many people, no matter how many diets or what they do or how great they eat or how much they work out, they can't release the physical weight because they're carrying people's weight emotionally on their body. You have to disconnect that. It's not yours to carry. It's nobody's to carry but their own, so let it go. So this is how you can write a release letter. So like what Nikki just mentioned, she said when she grew up with little money, there's foods that she craved that she couldn't have, okay? So what you would do, what Nikki would do, okay, I'm gonna use her as an example because this is a perfect example. She would sit and she would go back to that time when there was something that she wanted to eat that they couldn't afford, that she couldn't have. And she would go back to that experience and sit there. And she would write a letter to her mom or dad or grandparent or somebody that she went through that experience with, that she feels that they were the person that told her she couldn't, that they were part of that experience with her, because it's usually a parent, someone with influence. And she's going to go back to that experience and write a letter to them. And when you start writing a release letter, sometimes it's awkward and sometimes it's weird because you may have never done this before. And you're like, why am I writing this letter? This doesn't make sense. But you can go to simply say, hey, Dad, you know, being 5 years old and really wanting to eat that cupcake and seeing my friends have them and not being able to have that cupcake because we couldn't have the money or we didn't have that. So Nikki may have a trigger with money and food. Money and food could actually cause hoarding. I have some triggers with money and food, and for a long time I would hoard food. I would have extra. My husband and I, we both have this pattern actually, and we would stock up for way too long because in case we never had it. So whatever that may be, you start writing it, and it may start very, controlled, but your hand will start to go, and as the emotions start to come out, just let it go. Just let it go. It doesn't have to have punctuation. No one's ever going to read it. It can have cuss words. It can have all the things, all the feelings you're feeling about not being able to experience something that you chose to or something that happened to you that you've been carrying, okay? It could be to food. You can write a release letter to food. Food, why do I feel this way to you? Food, what do you provide me? Food, why do I not value you? You can start asking those questions and just start dumping. Let that emotion out on that paper, and you go and you go and you go. Minimum block out 20 minutes. Be undistracted. You do not want people around you while you emotionally let go on paper. Please do not type. Physically write. Let it all go until you get to a place, your hand will start to slow, and you get to a place of love, compassion, or understanding. And when you get to that, forgiveness is another place. When you get to that and you can close out that letter, then you're going to finish it up. You will tear it up and you will burn it. Now, burn it outside. Don't burn it in your house. I don't want to get somebody reaching out to me saying, Dara, I burned it in my house and I burned my house down. It's your fault. No. Be wise. Go outside, get a metal pot. Don't catch anything on fire and release it. If for whatever reason you can't do that, tear it up in small, teeny pieces and flush it. Release it. Let water, the elements need to move the energy away. Let it get away. But then don't do it if you have septic and then call me that you backed up your toilets. That's not my fault. Let your energy go. Now, as you do this, you may realize you need to then write a release letter to money. You may need to write a release letter to another person. You may need to write a release letter to your body. Maybe you're angry with your body. You may need to write a release letter to an experience from a teacher or a coach. Okay, I've had to do many. This is not a one-time thing. This is as that onion starts to unravel, it shows the true you inside. And the true you is who your soul wants you to be. It is honest. It is authentic. It values your body. It loves your body. And when you start bringing more love to the areas of your body that right now are discomfort or you do not love, watch what transforms. Because God bless you, I love you, speaking to your body in that way could massively transform your body instead of saying, I hate you every single day. And you can feel it. Just say, I hate you, and see what your body feels like, and say, God bless you, I love you, and see what your body feels like. You're going to instantly feel a different way of being. And having the proper nutrition, then choosing really strong food supports that your body wants. It doesn't matter of cost. It doesn't matter of anything. It is a choice that your body wants because your body actually doesn't need nearly as much as you think, believe it or not. Are you giving your body the water it needs? Are you fulfilling the needs? Are you ignoring it? Are you drinking a lot of alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or other things to block you from your true needs of you showing up as the highest version of you? Because the only way you could show up as the highest version of you is in your body. So I hope this helps a lot of you today. I hope this is tools that you guys can use over the years, value that you can continue to provide yourself, your family, your body as you show up and overflow to your team. And I hope this helps you all, and not so much on your weight loss journey, but on your loving yourself journey as you are letting go of the things that no longer serve you and showing up as the best version of you. All right, you guys, I will talk to you soon.